Hi, I'm Jen. I am going to spend the next few minutes with you talking about healthy feet and healthy toes. So if you don't know me already, I would love for you to follow me. I am a wellness business owner and I'm also a yoga instructor, and I've recently been challenged with some discomfort in my feet, specifically my toes, which has brought me to all kinds of research and trying out different products. And of course, because I'm an Amazon influencer, I always buy everything off of Amazon. So let's just kind of level set before we get started. So number one, I am a yoga instructor, so I have a good understanding of anatomy, but this session that we're going to do today, I'm going to talk about products, and I'm also going to give you some exercises to do as we go through. I am not going to give you any medical advice, so you are just listening to this as, consider me a storyteller. I'm going to tell you about what happens specifically with my feet, what people have guided me to try, and I think the best advice that I've heard from everybody in the medical field is to just try the things that you think might work for you and then just leave the things that don't. So you don't really know what's going to work for you until you try. So that's what I've been doing. I've had an extraordinary amount of success feeling better on my feet in less than 3 weeks. So I've been walking around with about a level 3 pain since January, and this video is being shot just at the beginning of June. So that's a long time, isn't it? Thanks for joining, guys. So look, what happened is that when you're teaching yoga, you spend a lot of time on your toes. So think about the position of plank, right? When you're lying down on your back and you're on your belly and your toes are tucked, that bend in the very top knuckle really hurt my toes. So what happened is it was a small pain. I started taping them, and every time I had a few days off, I'd feel better. And then when I went back to teaching again, it would hurt me, and it would be kind of a little bit swollen after class. And then eventually it started hurting all the time when I was walking around. So really interesting. You know, out of all the time in my life, I thought to myself, I've always cared about my food that I eat in my belly. I have some allergies and things like that. And I also always cared about my physical fitness. And I know a lot about, of course, yoga and wellness in general. I've never paid attention to foot health, and I just can't tell you how important it is. So let's kind of get started. Let's go over the first one. I'm on my phone, guys, so if you're writing any messages to me, I'll do my best to see them, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to set up the bigger version so I can interact with you. All right, let's get started. So the first one are called yoga toes. There are a few different brands that do this, but it was the first item that I bought. So it's called Toe Pal, but people call them yoga toes. And this is by Dr. JK. I think that they're excellent. So I did see an osteopath to find out about exercises and what I could do for my health, for my feet. And I said, what do you think about toe separators? And he says, oh, you know what, I'm not really sure. And I thought, you know what, I just want to get started. So I'm going to specifically go and see a foot doctor for discomfort, but it's not for 3 weeks. So I really wanted to get started. So look, they're jelly. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know is I call myself the mindful shopper because I try not to buy things that I don't need, and I only want to talk about the things that I use. So everything we're going to talk about today is not expensive. So every time you have a health issue, right, you feel like you have to go and buy all these different things and they cost so much money. So everything today is cheap and cheerful. So I hope that you find that really helpful. Okay, it's meant to be helpful. And I'm going to give you maybe 10 different exercises you can do to strengthen your feet and your toes as we go through. So, and of course, that's all no charge at all. All right. Plastic or rubber. Now the interesting thing about this format is you see that the one that goes in between the first and the second toe is actually bigger than the rest of them. And if you look at other brands online, many don't have that. And a lot of people, I read so many reviews, complaining about them falling off of your feet. So I'm gonna put them on for you so you understand what it looks like. So you've got this. It's obvious which one goes on the bottom, and you just lace them in between your toes. You might think that it's gonna break, but it's actually very good quality. So let's talk about why I'm using these and when I'm using these. So the specific issue that I have, I'm conscious about using medical words on my video here, but words like bunion, arthritis, having just issues with your arch or plantar fasciitis, all of those different things I think will be useful for you to watch this video today. So this is what it looks like. Pretty cute. Now there's this elasticity in between them, and you can squeeze your toes, like contract them, and they go on both feet. Maybe you only have a problem with one foot and not the other. So if you're watching the video, look down at your own feet and have a look at your second toe. And your second toe may be longer than your first toe, like me. And it seems to have a mind of its own, this toe. It likes to kind of either curl to the side or it likes to droop down. And I've always had this with my whole life. It's never caused me any discomfort. But what these toes do, this toe pal, is to straighten out the structure of your foot. So I like that it's keeping them long and straight. So I've been squeezing them with this little bit of rubber part here. Now, people have said that they slept in them. So to give you a good view, I know that I'm doing something on feet and nobody wants to see feet, but they're clean and they're freshly painted. So I thought I'd be okay. All right. So we can squeeze, contract. I have been wearing these while I'm at my computer, working from home for maybe 2 hours a day. And I've been doing very diligent work on my feet for about 3 weeks because I was so uncomfortable and it would break my heart if I couldn't teach yoga. So people said that they could sleep in these, but I find that they catch in your sheets, right? So I decided to wear socks over top of them, but then the socks kind of bothered me. So I decided I didn't want to do that either. So I love the product. It's very comfortable on your feet, but I would recommend myself. I find what I enjoy the most is just walking around the house with them on. And I put them on as soon as I get up in the morning, as long as I'm not teaching, and just have my coffee and do my morning things and I wear them, okay? So that's item number 1. Let's learn how to do an exercise. So you can, I put marbles up here. These are just kids' marbles, or you can just use any marbles that you have at home. Now, many years ago, I learned how to teach kids yoga. And one of the things that you teach is for them to use all of their digits. And so you can think about having like a fun game. Maybe you have kids at home that you want to play a little bit of a game and you put the marbles out. Usually what I do, for filming purposes, we're going to do it this way. But usually what I do is I get a towel and I dump out all the marbles onto the towel, and then I pick up each marble with my feet and I move it over into its original bowl. And so one of my feet is more tender than the other, and I try to do an even amount, right? You can imagine this takes a little bit of time. I've been going outside in the sunshine to enjoy some weather to make it feel like not so challenging. But again, just being able to bend your toes and keep them really mobile, a lot of people feel stiffness in their joints, right? You can even think about other parts of your body maybe that you just wake up in the morning and we feel stiff, and then you have to move around a little bit and then you start to feel better. Okay, so that's option number 2 and your first exercise. So just take some patience and just move over back and forth. All right. So this is a ball specifically for the arch of your foot, and I am going to talk to you a little bit about what was challenging with me. I am eventually going to change the way that my camera is set up so that you can see me standing and do some of these exercises, but for now it's a little easier to do it this way. So this is this ball here. It's hard and it has all these little spikes on it, so you can't squeeze it. And it feels fantastic underneath your foot. Now, different brands say it's for different things. Let's just say that it's going to make the underside of your foot feel really good, specifically your arch. Now, if you are a runner or you're doing a lot of working out, you might just have tendons and things like that underneath your foot. So all you have to do is just roll your foot on top of it. I love it. It's really good. It doesn't hurt. It's easy to do. You could even be watching TV and do a lot of this stuff, right? You're just sitting down and relaxing. I guess it depends, like anything. How much discomfort do you have to make it worth your while to do this? So you can just do one side and the other. Without getting into anything too complex anatomy-wise, I'll tell you the biggest lesson that I learned so far. Now, I don't have a problem with my arch of my foot, I don't think. But somebody had said, oh, your arch is very close to the floor. And you can imagine when you're balancing on one foot, right? Teaching people to balance, how grounded your feet are. And I have excellent balance. So I think over time, my arch has probably gone closer to the floor, but it's not where I feel my pain. However, this big knuckle at the bottom of your foot is where a lot of people have problems. And I've been told it looks a little bit red and maybe I need to look after it. It's like the beginning of a bunion. And I wanted to correct it right away, but truly where I feel the greatest pain myself on both feet is the second knuckle on my big toe on both feet. So it's identical on both feet. Okay, just so that you guys know if you're listening to me and thinking, oh, I don't have the same problem as her. But I do think that all of these exercises are fantastic. Now ask yourself, if you've ever felt uncomfortable in your body in some place, especially a joint, what is it that you need to do in order to feel better overall? Typically, what people say is you need to strengthen areas around your joint, right? It makes sense, right? To stabilize everything else when something else is weak. So it's the same thing. So if you were going to stabilize your foot and make yourself feel better, one of the things you can do to strengthen your arch, and I'm going to use one of these other items here in a second here to show you, is to do calf raises and to place a tennis ball, which we'll go over next actually. Tennis ball, there you go. I tried to pick all the really inexpensive brands here, right? So you guys can pick up stuff right away. In order to strengthen your arch, if you're one of those people who has arch issues, there is a tendon that goes from your knee all the way down towards the arch of your foot. And if you lift your heel to strengthen your calf muscle, it strengthens the arch of your foot. It's really awesome. So let's do one of those together right now. You'll have to bear with me. I'm gonna bring this up. Okay, we'll turn this towards the door. Okay. So tennis ball, you could use any tennis ball, but the first exercise we're going to do is we're going to place the tennis ball in between, excuse me, our ankles. I'm going to try to bring my feet as close together as possible. There's quite a lot of pressure in between my ankles, and I'm just going to lift my heels off the ground. Now it depends on who you are. I work with people who are beginner and have issues with all kinds of different body parts. So just start out light. Currently what I'm doing right now is I'm doing 20, just raising my heel off the ground. Now my feet are feeling better, so if you're feeling tender, just feel it out. But by squeezing and contracting this tennis ball, you can strengthen some of those muscles inside, and I think that this is one of the things that helped me the most, okay? Just strengthening my calves. Now once you get used to that and you understand what the contraction feels like, you can move to do this exercise, which is a bit more challenging. I'm going to do my right foot first, and I'm going to raise my left leg off of the floor, and I'm just going to do a calf raise with the right hand side, and I'm going up and down and up and down and up and down. So I'm doing 20 on each side, and I'm doing a set of 3. So I'm really working. Please know that I am like an advanced yoga practitioner, and I'm a strong person in terms of like being able to lift weights. So just make the decisions that are good for you, and of course consult with anybody that you need to make sure you're doing everything safe, but maybe this can inspire you. For those of you who don't have great balance, you can always hang on to your wall, right? There's no need to do more work than you need to, and you just lift and lift. Okay. Let's come back. Okay. So before we keep moving along, I want you to learn with me what I have learned. If it is this part underneath your foot, this big pad underneath your foot that's the most tender, you need to remember that there are 3 parts of your feet that ground your foot to the ground. Your heel, this outside, and this inside. And it's important to equally distribute all that weight there, right? So that you're not putting more pressure than is needed on that area of your foot. I'm going to show you a lot of exercises with toes in this video, and I think again that has really helped me understand where the weight is sitting in my feet, and it just, everything feels so much better. If you're watching the video with me right now, why don't you just bring your feet up off of the floor and draw a few circles with your ankles. So giving your ankles a little bit of love while we're moving forward. Okay. Now, if I'm honest, I purchased this kit and I thought to myself, how can anything this affordable actually be helpful? And I love those socks and I love the toe exerciser. So let's try both. I told you that for the toe pals, I can't sleep in them because they get stuck in my sheets, but I can sleep in these, which look like a little sock. And I thought that it was a compression sock and it would fit a little bit tighter, not tighter, that it would feel more like a tensor bandage, but it's silky. And a lot of reviews, people said that they were running in them. Now I haven't run in them yet, but I've been sleeping in them for about 2 weeks. I can't make it through the whole night with them on because they're much stronger than I expected, but I also feel like this is probably one of the things that's helping me out the most. So let's talk about what it is. There's one little hole here where your big toe goes through, and there is a toe separator between this and the second toe, which seems to be a lot of products are there to separate it. It's for bunionettes and discomfort of that big knuckle at the bottom of your toe, your helix, and then the rest of your toes come through here. It's got an additional pad on the side here, which is supposed to correct some of the alignment there in your foot, but let's put them on so that you see what it looks like. They're just silky little socks. I thought to myself, maybe I would wear these teaching yoga. I've been taping my feet with black tape, you'll see in a second. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to have neutral colors? But like I said, I don't think I'm going to do that at this point. I think I've found solutions, which is why I'm making the video for you guys. So this is what it looks like, right? All is sitting there like that. So I put these on before I go to bed, and usually about 2 hours in the night, I wake up and I think, oh, I can't do it anymore. And I've been taking them off, but maybe I'll get better and better at it with time. But very helpful, right? So I love these. And I think at first I thought this was kind of a joke, and it turns out it works really well. So this is to exercise your toes. I'm going to do it for you. Now, if you don't have one of these toe exercises at home, one of the things that you can do is kind of just point your toe like this and turn your toe out. So you're pointing it like a ballerina and then you turn it out. And with this toe, this is a great little package here, honestly. If you're just starting out like me, I think that this you can't lose. Okay, we've got the toe separators, or the exercisers, and you just go 1, 2, 3. I've been putting it in my purse, and when I go to the park to do like meditation and relax, I have a little bit of moments in the grass to look after my feet. If you're watching this video, I would love for you to leave comments. I want to understand if you guys are feeling the same as me, or if you're struggling with your feet. Whenever something happens to you and you start talking about it, you realize how many people also have issues just like you. And there's been so many yoga students and different people have seen me tape my feet and having conversations about it. And I just realized so many people are uncomfortable for so many reasons. And I can't believe these products and exercises, and I'm genuinely being honest, that they have helped so much in 3 weeks. I can't even believe it. I want to shout it from the mountaintops. Okay. So I've also been eating really clean and being careful of like anything that's causes natural inflammation with food. And I'm not going to do the video on food today, but just know that I've been working on that as well, okay, and drinking lots of water. Big toe. There's a couple of other pieces inside of this package that are silicone. One of them looks like this. So it goes on but one's toe separator in between your toe and the other one down the side of where like your bunion would be. Now the good thing about these is these do fit in your running shoes. So you can imagine there's no way that would fit in your running shoe, right? But that could fit in your running shoe. And so could this, which is just a single toe separator. You'll see lots of these online. And they're like a jelly, like really jelly. Okay, and so that you just stick your toe in there, and that's a separator between the big and the little. So we've got something for running shoes, something for work day, something for sleeping. I love teaching. It's a huge part of who I am as a person, and I didn't want to miss out on it. Okay. I don't want to talk about anything medical, okay, but I do want to tell you guys what I'm using. So what you're looking at here is specifically glucosamine capsules. It was recommended to me by a professional, and it does help with things like arthritis. And it's said that you need to take it for at least 30 days or 6 weeks until you can decide whether or not it works for you. So I took that advice, and it's right now about 30 days. And so I've obviously been doing a lot of things, and it's hard to figure out what's going to be working. But you know what, again, it's an affordable item, and I'm happy with it. It didn't hurt my belly or anything like that. So, okay, so that's another option for you if it's not something that you've tried yet. Okay. So I wanted to talk about two separate creams, if you will, that I'm going to put on top of my feet, and let's do some toe exercises together while we're doing this. Now, it depends on who you are. Are you a natural person, or are you somebody who's okay with the occasional medical cream or whatever? And so this product is sold on Amazon. It's called Voltaren. Okay, so this is option number 1. You can look at the title and see what it's for. If you know what an Advil is for, an Advil is for internal, taking away inflammation. This is for external, so you don't have to worry about it going through your belly, which is ideal. This is great to put on before you go to bed at night. I often put it on about an hour before I teach, and then I'm taping my toes on top of it. You can see the container's almost gone. You do not need to use a lot of it at all, like very, very sparingly. Let's do a little example for you guys, and I'll put a little bit on my feet. So it's clear. Can you see that? Clear. I would say that that's all I actually put on the surface of my foot, and I'll do a little bit right now on one side. And we'll do one side with this and one side with the natural one. Okay. I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of different people in my life in different areas of wellness and have given me lots of expert advice. So hopefully you're finding all of this beneficial. The other one is called Tiger Balm. I actually lived in Bali for a long time teaching, and this is one of the products that I learned about there. Now this is called White Tiger Balm. Let me move over this one so you can see it. So it's natural. You can use it anytime you want. It's great for muscle tenderness. You can put it all over your body. And I also love the way it smells. It really wakes you up. And I'll put that one on the other foot. And then we'll learn how to do some exercises. So look, if you're joining me on the video, this is going to be the good part. This is going to be when you're going to start to feel really good yourself. So let's learn. I set up my camera this way so you guys could see all the things that I was doing. So if you want, you're going to try to sit. I might do these exercises so that I'm doing both of them on the same time with both feet to save time. Look at your big toe, and then you've got your other 4 toes. You want to try to just lift the big one, and you want to do it about 10 times. So lift and lift. As you're getting used to doing this, you might need to hold down your other toes so that your brain starts to understand what kind of a work it's doing. I'm struggling right now. So lift. So it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, and then do the other side. So I'm a bit more confident or able to move this toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I won't count for all of them, but at least you guys can learn how to do them. Now, if you think about your feet, try to only crunch down the toes without the big toe. So you're rolling down, keep the big toe up, and then crunch the other 4 and do that 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10. If you get really good at this, I would say you can do it all in about 15 minutes, and it's been worth it because walking around feeling good is just amazing. All right, and we'll work on the other ones. As you're bending your toes like this, look for if you can see your knuckles coming out from your foot, right? And if anything ever feels tender and someone's telling you to do something and it doesn't feel good, you're your own boss, right? You're your own guide. I always say that when I'm teaching yoga. I can be here to suggest things for you to do, but you need to obviously feel really good with it. And then I was going to crunch all of my toes. Now, if you did the marbles, right, or we had done this, in case you're joining the video a little bit late, we've got marbles and we're picking them up. You would have to crunch all of your toes to do that, right? So you don't want to over exercise, but if you decide not to do the marbles, you can do the crunching with your toes and just go crunch 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now look, I appreciate that if you have pain that I might be doing something and making it look easy and it's really hard for you. So maybe there's only 1 or 2 things in here that you take away from the video, but that's cool too, right? Okay. So the next one, I think I find it very easy to do. I don't know about you. You're gonna fan your toes. We're gonna do it one of 2 ways. And so first one is that you're gonna put your big toe down and then try to spread your toes out. So if my hand was my foot, it would be thumb and then putting them all down, right? So give it a try. So it's big toe, next toe, and then they go over. And you can do it with both of your feet at the same time when you get good at it. Okay, so it's big toe fan out, and that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I still have a couple more things to share with you too if you're sticking with the video. The next one is a little bit more challenging. And what you're gonna do is it's fanning as well, but it's pinky. So if my hand was my toe, it's pinky, and then you work your way in. So give that a try. And again, 10 is a good number. So we're doing the pinky and then pushing them all down. Start fresh, roll it down. Start fresh, roll it down. Start fresh and roll it down. And we'll do 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. When I get off the video with you guys, I know that the things that I'll do is I'll do the calf raises, I'll do the marbles, the calf raises, the marbles, and the toe expanders, just to spend more time. In case you're just watching for the products, I don't want to bore you. All right, on Amazon, of course, Amazon being Amazon, there are so many different types of foot baths. And I felt a little bit overwhelmed because I didn't know what to purchase. And I also didn't want to spend a lot of money unless I knew it was something that was going to be useful for me. So this is what I ended up doing. It's a very cheap and cheerful way to experience an Epsom salts bath. If you have a nice big bathtub and you want to fill it up with water, you can do that as well. I decided I wanted to do this version just because I could sit outside with my book and read or whatever. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. Again, it's very affordable for everybody. So this is just, well here, we'll go over this one first. This is an Amazon Epsom salts and I dumped mine out into a Tupperware container. Okay, but there's 2 bags in this one and it's very affordable and it smells like eucalyptus. I always use aromatherapy, an oil in my house that's a eucalyptus, and I love this smell. So I knew that when I purchased this. This salt also has magnesium in it, which I'm also going to talk about as a supplement in a second. Magnesium is not just good for sleep. It's good for like, I don't know, I want to say there's like 100 other benefits of it, which I didn't realize. So nice that it has the nice smell and the extra magnesium in there, and then it's salt, so it just really relaxes your feet. So even if you don't have ongoing foot pain, but you're one of those people who's on their feet all the time, like you're working in retail or you're working at a restaurant, or maybe you're a nurse or something like that and you're just on your feet all the time, this is such a nice thing. So I'm just using 1/4 cup of the Epsom salts, putting it inside of this container and taking hot water and dumping it inside, so making it to the temperature that I want and sticking my feet inside of it. And I've only done it 1 or 2 times this way. Just wait until the water doesn't feel warm enough for me anymore. And both times I did it when I was watching a movie. So maybe that works for you. I know there's some fabulous looking foot soaks on Amazon, and I might get one eventually, but I just, yeah, I didn't invest in one yet, but they're probably all fabulous. And some of them actually heat up water inside. I just don't want to advertise or talk about any products I haven't tried, right? What else do I need to tell you? I think we just have one more thing. Where did I put it? Here it is. Yeah, so this is, we've got your foot bath. Oh, okay, sorry, we've got 2 more things to go. So one is magnesium. Yeah, like I said, I have this in my fridge. Typically, people say that it's really good for you to sleep and to help you relax, but apparently it's really good for bones and a whole bunch of other stuff. Google it. There's a crazy list. So I already had it, which was fantastic. This is the same brand I've highlighted for you here, but maybe it's something you want to consider doing as well. Like I said, it depends on how uncomfortable you are. Okay, what else? Taping. This is the last thing. I wanted to just mention about this tape because, like I said, I'm the mindful shopper. There is always a more expensive product on the market, right? There's high-end stuff, there's lower-end stuff, and I've tried some really good quality kinesiology tape, and of course I'm not against it, but if you are having foot pain every day and you're taping your feet every day, it's gonna matter how much money you're spending on stuff. So there's tons of this kind of tape here. I just put it up there. Look, that's 2 rolls and the price there, it's pretty sweet. That you can use this tape all the time and you don't have to feel, if you're concerned, if you're using too much of it, okay? You might even be able to find a different deal that will help you out. What I really like about this type of tape is that, first of all, you don't have to just use it for your feet. You can use it for anywhere. If you have never been introduced to this kind of stuff and you're having foot issues and you're not an athlete, that's definitely possible. Remember that your joints end up giving you trouble as we age, right? It's wear and tear on your joints. Some people are just more unlucky than others, and we're all built in different ways. Look on the back of this. It's got a way that you can cut it, right? And so it doesn't fray when you cut it, which I love. I've been practicing learning different ways to tape. I'm not an expert, but I am gonna give you an example just so you can see at least the product and how it works. I just purchased the nude and it's not here yet, so we're doing the video with the black, but I'm tired of walking around with like the darker colored tape on my feet, so it's going to be a nude color soon. So all I do is I just chop it up. And originally what I was doing is I was taping my big toe to my second toe, only to teach, right? Because it does feel like, you know, the blood circulation's not the greatest, but you feel much safer when you're moving. Someone might want to do that and put their foot in their shoes if they're going for a really long walk. And also you can buy these little things on Amazon that have the toes. I think it's called a toe buddy, where they go together. Again, I'm not advertising them because I haven't tried them yet, but I'm sure that I will eventually. But for now, we're gonna do it the cheap and cheerful way. So you take a piece of tape, and I have been doing something new with my feet, and I'll show you how to tape it in case you have the same issue as me. So remember, my problem is not with the biggest knuckle, even though it's probably tender and maybe some of the issues are stemming from there, but my pain that I feel is in the big joint. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this tape. It's easy, it just peels. And then I'm wrapping the tape around my big toe joint. So I'm not taping the tape to anything else. This has been a savior for me, just to have that new way of taping. And then I take this one and I cut it into a couple skinny pieces so I have a little bit more control. Are you one of those people who likes to get organized? I love organizing. So that when I go and I get this stuff later, that it's already ready for me. If I'm teaching at 7 o'clock in the morning and I've got to run out, I still need to tape the feet. My dream is that I won't have to tape my feet in 6 months, so send me good energy, please. Okay, so see, skinny. It's got a tiny little bit of give, but it's not going to fray on the side, and it's not on your feet for that long anyways, so that's good. And we are just going to tape and tape. And so that's what he looks like. And it's much more stable. And you know, if I'm totally honest with you, I'm gonna have to modify the exercises that I'm doing until I feel 100%. And if I never feel 100%, I'm just gonna be a better teacher because I'll understand how many of us there are in the world having discomfort with our feet. But nice to know that there's so many solutions. It's also nice to know that like a little bit of effort goes a long way. I have had lots of different things happen to me in my life in terms of like wellness, and we can't just lean on the things that we're going to purchase to make us better. All the things you're looking at today, they're tools. They're tools of things that you need to work to make the effort to take care of yourself. So I hope that that was helpful. I hope that everybody gets at least 1 or 2 things that are beneficial out of this video. So my name is Jen. I would love for you to follow me. I'm just starting my live Amazon journey. But like I said, I own a wellness company. I do online cooking classes, education around stress and anxiety, and of course, you know, yoga and meditation, all of that stuff. So I'm going to be doing more of those things going forward. I think the next video that I'm going to do will be on some kind of supportive yoga poses, and I'll tell you guys about different things that I use in terms of products, in case it's a world that you would like to explore, or maybe it's something you already know about and you just want to learn more. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being here. And of course, the video is saved. You can watch it later. Bye. Have a beautiful day. Happy feet.